All right. Welcome to the Metal Building Show. My name is Eric Beavers. I'm the owner of Great Western Building Systems, and I'm trying to see if we are live. We are indeed. Okay, cool. So, today we're going to talk about loading and unloading of pre-engineered metal buildings on a truck. Customer had requested that. But we're going to go over quite a few things here. So why don't you guys introduce yourself? I'm still taking some notes.
My name is Jared Miller. I'm Chief Detailer here at Great Western Buildings.
My name's Aaron Cowdy. I am the yard manager here at Great Western Buildings.
And I'm Justin. I'm the media production guy.
Hey, Justin. Justin, how long have you worked here?
6 or 7 years. 2018. 2018. That sound right?
Yeah.
Maybe 19.
Like that. Long time.
Yeah.
So hey, to get us started here, I remember we said a long time ago we would go over CRU data and stuff like that. I have good news. Let's see if I can share this. Check what happened in the CRU today. This is kind of funny. Sure. We're down $8 a hundred or $8 a ton. What is that? 50 cents a hundredweight? Oh, wait. What am I doing here? Jared, help me out. You're the math guy, right? What, you got 2,000 pounds. We're down $8. So 1992. So 2,000 divided by 8 is
004.
002. Yeah. So it would be 50 cents a pound is what we're down. Or 50 cents a ton. 50 cents a pound would be awesome. So, hey, not a lot of movement here. Guys, we're still way up in the high eights. And of course, we're still paying for some of this higher stuff that's been out here. But so no price relief in sight, but it's not going up. We're down since the last monitor, down $8 since the last monitor. All right. Stop. And lead times. Current lead times, 14, 16 weeks realistically from date of purchase, unless you're going straight to fabrication, 14, 16 weeks is probably where we're at. We're looking at November now. Of course, on buildings that are being released straight for production, that lead time is lower, but just talking about standard pre-engineered metal building customers or orders.
Oh, that's good.
It's been worse. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess what do they say? There's worse problems to have, right? So, Hey, if you haven't ordered your building and you want it before the snow flies, you better get on it, right? I was talking with SBS, my buddy Shane over there, and those guys are like 20 weeks out. They're already into 2025 or 2026. Oh
wow.
My gosh.
Wow.
And that is a bigger facility than this. All right. Before we start, you guys got anything?
No,
I think I'm
All right. Aaron, walk us through, man. Loading.
Okay. Well, first we stage everything, right? We stage it on railroad ties to prevent damage to any of the material. When you guys do it, when you unload it, you'll probably just use the dunnage that we send you. But anyways, have the guys stage the building, right? Then I go through and I do a pre-stage check. Pretty much just an inventory of the entire building. When I'm going through and I don't see something that's, not there and it's supposed to be, I stop right there, have the guys go get it instead of skipping to the next step. Keep going through. Want to make sure it doesn't get forgot. I do piece counts of all your purlins and girts. So I'll count each bundle. If it says it's supposed to have 8, I'll count. If it has 7, then I need to look into that. Same goes with sheeting. Now,
do you guys count every individual sheet?
I do, yes. I count every single sheet. And I just do that because in the field, you count every sheet of the bundle before erection because you don't want to be putting up a wall and find out you're 2 sheets short. But I also do it because I don't want you guys to have to run into that. Then C channel that usually comes in a bundle. I'll actually bundle count that as well. Let's see. Trim boxes. We have bundle stickers. I go through the bundle sticker. If there's not something on there, I have the ability to go into the drive and look at the pictures and locate something that could be missing. If I don't see it in the pictures, then I'll take it back to the trim. The trim guys open it up, make sure that's in there. Same thing goes for your job box. And then
Job box, explain that
Oh.
for us.
Well, the job box is going to have your screws, your nuts, your bolts. If you have cables, it's going to have all your clips, your flange braces. And that also has a bundle sticker. So I'll go through, and the bundle sticker will tell me, everything that's in that box. And I have, the same shipper that the customer has. And if I don't see that one particular item, I'll do the same thing and go into the drive and double check, make sure it's in there. If it's not, then I'll take it back to the warehouse. We'll open up the box and confirm. You also have short girts, short purlins, some small eave struts, stuff like that. And then after that, usually I like to do that the day before we load. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning and truck's supposed to be here at 7:30. I get here at 7, so start doing inventory first thing. But once it's done being inventoried, my guys start loading it. Loading, there's lots of variables. Usually we like to put sheeting down first. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes we'll lay purlins and girts down. Sometimes we'll lay the iron down. Essentially what we're doing is trying to make sure that we take up as much space on the truck as possible. And if it's a 2-stop truck, you definitely want to make sure that you're loading it correctly. But sometimes the sheeting could be on the second row or third row. We like to put it down on the first row, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way.
Right on. I've been pulling up some pictures and stuff that we can go through on the loading. But I'm wondering right now, can somebody send a test message? Because last week there was a bunch of people that contacted us, or me and everything. We're like, hey, we cannot send a YouTube message, and I have no idea what that's about. Like, do we have that feature turned off, or or what?
On the YouTube channel.
Yeah, on the YouTube channel. Because we should actually be able to see any messages.
we should be able to see them.
Up here on the screen. So here I can send a test. It appears to have worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if it'll work for me.
I mean, there's only eight people watching. Like, we were late last week, or we didn't even do our show. Oh yeah, Rocket. Oh, hey, thanks, Braden.
Cool.
We missed last week's episode. Sorry, guys. Aaron had a lot to do in the yard. So here, I'm going to pull up. I got a couple of jobs pulled up here. Let me see if I can share. So these pictures are just too darn zoomed in here. Hold on. I'm trying to get a picture of the load. I got a video pulled up too. So, if you've bought a building from Great Western and you've taken delivery, and if you've had any questions or concerns about inventory and stuff, you will know that we video and photograph everything when it comes to staging and loading and shipping. So the inside of the warehouse box, everything's recorded, videoed. And it's not really like more of a, I gotcha, or like, oh no, it was there. Sometimes with some erectors and stuff, you're like, no, dude, you ruined those gutters.
Yep.
So they were right there. But a lot of times it's for customers that, they might not know exactly what they're looking for, right? Like a outside closure, right? I would assume, not being if I was a layman, that's probably a metal part in the trim box. I'm not seeing anything. No, it's a foam piece that's inside of the thing. So that's really why we do that. So here, let me grab this.
I think a good one is also iron, when they have C channel on the iron page and they're like, we're missing a beam. Well, it's actually light gauge C channel.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Where's this EC? Or another big one is 4x2 angles.
Yeah.
Right. So we put the 4x2 angles on the outside of the trim box. It really strengthens those things. So a lot of times people see that and they think it's just scrap or throwaway steel. I mean, I don't know why you would think that, especially when it's stacked up like it is, but it's there to protect the trim box, and it makes it really easy to transport. And so,
Yeah.
really good.
I've had erectors ask the same question though, so it's not just customers.
Yeah,
I've had erectors.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do it.
Yeah,
You
me
know,
either.
I don't know
Usually
what.
it's-
Yeah, I know like Rigid Global, SBS, heck, even like the Nucor plants, they take trim flashing and put it around like 29
Yeah.
gauge or 26 gauge, and it doesn't do anything. You know, I mean, you breathe on that stuff and it breaks. But all right, so this is like a 4-part job. I got a good video of a consolidated load that we should go over, but
Okay.
let me see. Is it not? Oh, I think I'm at the end here. Hold on. I'm going to click through real quick, everybody. Oh. All right. So what do we got here, Aaron?
Well, we have some sheeting here, the quantity of 40. That's, that tells you the length, 27 foot, 6 inches. I must have not have loaded this one because I would have written on with Sharpie 40 and then my signature that I counted every single piece.
Right. So this is just a PBR panel. I don't know why it says profile reverse run. Was this buyout? No.
Oh, this is I think no.
That's just
this is that they're this is how they do it. And actually, I remember this load. Maybe I did I have pounds written on there. I had to know exactly how much weight I could put on that trailer.
Right. Okay. So anyways, you got your this is like a picture of a panel that's on the truck or a bundle that's on the truck. Here there's 52 sheets. They're 23 foot 5.5 inch. Oh, we even give a centering lift point. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
But bundle 1 of 1, it's 3,191 pounds. So if you look at the edge of that, you can do a count, but they're usually pretty accurate. The machines do a log. Here's another bundle. So this truck here was none of the frames.
No.
Yeah. But
this looks like it's all sheeting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. Let me get out of this one. And here, I'm going to pull up this video. Let's bust this out. I'll try not to blast you guys with the volume here. Wait, that's a picture. All right. You got it? And tell me if the volume goes crazy. I'm going to mute it.
No.
So here, I'm going to turn the volume up. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Mm-mm.
No volume?
I mean, I can walk you through what I'm doing right here is just.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm just taking a video, just in case, as you see, I'm getting all the labels just in case the guys didn't get a picture of it. Then I'm just kind of walking through what is on the truck, where it's located, and try to, as you can see, I get up here and I try to stay on the sheeting for a while for my camera to focus. So if, the customer says, hey, I only got 18 sheets and I needed 20, well, we can go back and we could count each sheet in case I did count wrong. So you'll see me do that quite a bit throughout here. It takes a while for the camera to focus, but yeah, I'm just taking a good video of the load in case there's, customer says there's damage.
Right. And so for customers to understand why we do this, it's not really gotcha. It's not there. One, it's to keep erectors, honest, right? But it's also for internal use. Like we need to know, where something was missed, right? So beyond just, a customer says, hey, we think we're missing this. We need to go back through our videos and find out, where was it missed and what panel was it missed? That way we can check machine logs. We can check other systems to find out, why that was missed. I mean, we don't miss a lot of stuff, with the automation and everything like that we have in the system now. But come on, focus. So here, I'll just kind of scan through here. And that paper there is to protect the cut from the underside. And if you look on the top, this is a cover sheet that we have up here. So all of our panel bundles are going to come with a new sheet on top, and it's really a sacrificial sheet. Now I have had to use them on job sites before where I made a mistake and I'm like, oh man, I'm glad that cover sheet's in the same color and I can get enough out of it. But yeah, those
Please
would
tell
be
use 8 feet of that sheet.
right. And actually, this just came up. I was going to say, on the inventory, cause I mean, you know, contractually, it's a 30-day notification for, inventory claims or, or shipping damage or whatever. Actually, shipping damage is immediate. It needs to be written on the bill of material, which we can go over later. But, one of the things that's nice about these videos, and I mean, how many times Aaron used to work in customer service here, if we can't show it on the truck, then that means, or in the videos or in the photos or something, that means it's probably not there. And we'll honor warranty claims. I mean, heck, we've honored warranty claims, a year after delivery because the building just started going up. We go back through the video. Geez, customer's right. I don't see that, what's something that we missed? The angles. I don't see the 3x3 obtuse or acute angles on the truck. Right.
No, the rods aren't on there. Yep.
Yeah. So rather than, hey, sorry, you're out of luck. We can't prove that they were there. So we'll replace them. Right. That's a good thing with this. And if a customer wants these videos for their building, for their project, just ask. I send them out all the time. Jared,
this is to stop too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, consolidated load. This is there's 2 buildings on this truck. They're smaller. It saved a bunch of freight money. You always have the option as a customer to have your load shipped direct without anything else on it, but you're paying for that whole truck. So if you can get a consolidated load, do it. Aaron, you walk. How do you separate them? Like this building here that we're walking through.
This one was easy. This was front of the trailer and back of the trailer, just because of the length and the weight. But sometimes you get a building that weighs 20,000 pounds and the first stop is 10,000, so you have to, or however it works. But sometimes we'll have to do the very first layer of the second stop's job and then build up to the front, and then the first stop is the bottom layers of second stop, but everything on the back and up is the first stop.
Okay.
I have been talking with Ron about making a little map, and it shouldn't be hard, that tells the customer exactly where their pieces are.
Oh yeah, that would be that'd be a little bit difficult, but it looks like it was raining. You can see all the splash from the rain and stuff. So I think the idea is really to try to get the first stop to be able to unload as little as possible of the other customer's load. Sometimes, I mean, trim box, personnel doors, they have to go on top of the load because they're fragile. So if you're first stop, you might have to pick that off in order to access your stuff. But Aaron tries to look
technical, at trim box and maybe some C-channel.
And hey, let's go back and look at this trim box here. I can't see there it is. Ugh. It looks like you're climbing up on something.
Yeah, I am.
I will pause it when I see it. Okay, now you're up there. Oh. All right, trim box. So this is the top of the trim box. We can try to get a better. Actually, I have photos from a different truck that we can show, but this is the 4x2 angle wrapping that trim box. And so, yeah, if you're looking for base angles, sag angles, that's where they're at.
And you were saying that, so that's the door right there, right? Because it's got to be on top.
Yeah, this is a personnel door kit.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And this truck here, it looked from what I saw, I didn't load it, obviously. Aaron did, but it looked like everything was segregated almost perfectly. Right. So this door, that trim box is probably for this building. Sometimes if you have a larger building, that's first stop or set or whatever, and we can't put one job on the back, one job on the front. This is probably like a 240 by 60s or something. Sometimes you'll have to put both sets of trim boxes on top of, something that the first customer needs to access, but this is pretty good. I wonder what driver this was. Maybe we can see the truck.
I think this is Troy. No, it is Troy because I recognized his ladder.
Chisholm. Yeah, so we got a handful of really good local drivers that do a lot of hauling for us. Okay. Delivery here. Do we want to see any more of this? Oh, that's a good view of the trim box there.
Yeah, with the angles. Yeah, wrapping it.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, that is
Right.
a good
So
view.
you see at the bottom, they're really stacked up, and it's to protect this trim. I got a fly in my office. It keeps landing on my arm. All right, I gotta close this. There we go. Let's see. Oh, I got warehouse photos here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, you guys there? Justin, you're out.
Yeah, I was muting so I
Oh.
could type. I'm responding
got
to the people in our chat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm a little quiet, guys. I've had a bad internet
Turn
problem.
you're blasting our ears, dude. You got to turn it down. Oh, hey, Tim over at Doc's Autos. He's writes, brings back good memories when our building showed up like this a few years ago. Tim's gonna be here on Friday. And I'll do like maybe we'll do a bonus little YouTube thing with him. So we'll talk to him. We'll ask him a bunch of questions about his building and
I'd love
how
to
he
see him
did it.
again. He is a great guy, good
yeah,
customer.
he's a cool guy. So here I'm just going through some photos from the warehouse. So in our warehouse, all the individual parts, they're going to be bagged or boxed. On small buildings, you'll see a lot of bags. On big buildings, you'll see like original shipping crates from the manufacturer vendor of those. Like, you know, you might get a barrel of bolts like on the Azure, the one you're loading up right now, Aaron, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
I think we actually just ordered all of that pre-packaged.
Yeah, it's just
from
from
the vendor.
buckets.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 500 by 700 or so. It's enormous, like 30 truck.
560,000 pounds.
Yeah, 600,000 pounds loaded weight, divide by, call it 40,000 pounds a truck. Yeah, 15 trucks.
Yep. Just loaded 600 today, 600 purlins today, this morning.
So here, these are all the bolts. So like in this, job numbers written on the bag, 3/4 inch bolts, 2 1/4 inch long. It's going to be bolts and nuts in the same bag. A307 hardware, this purlin hardware, screws. So all of this stuff is going to be photographed so that we can count it, and then we make sure that it goes into the crate. So this is one of our shipping crates. We get these boxes from the guys next door over at Monroe. Shout out to them. We buy them lunch on every Friday, that team of guys over there. And they bring over like a half dozen of these boxes a week because they just throw them out. And I'm like, hey, man, if you guys bring them over to our yard, I'll buy you lunch on Fridays. They're really nice. Cable braces. Let's see. I'll run through. And then here's the rest of the pictures of everything going into the box. That way we can verify, where everything is. And we can also communicate to you, hey, this is where you need to go digging for that part. So small parts, closures, and a finished warehouse box. So then that gets a lid and it goes on the truck. I think that's enough of that. I want to talk about, oh man, Ron Avey would have been a good one for this, but the delivery location access. Aaron, you've been in the field the most.
What do you mean by
Just getting a semi truck into the job site and out?
you actually get it into the job site?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been there where you can't, and you got to haul everything up, with your 8K, your telehandler, and haul up the hill, or load it onto a smaller trailer and drive it up. Floresta, we did good there. Dan got all the way up there. I don't think a lot of drivers could have got up there, but
yeah, he's a bit of a cowboy, and I mean that he has so much power in that truck.
yeah.
Yeah, he's no longer hauling for us. He went and he's hauling in the oil in the Bakken right now, making like $1,000 an hour or something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
location.
Not really, but I mean, he's making really good bucks up there. He's like, sorry. I'm like, no, man, go get your money. I'm not paying you that.
Super money.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you get some drivers that, they won't take their trucks off the asphalt.
Yep.
And then you get, cowboys or, I think I used to call them chicken haulers. They'll drive through ditches, fields, trees. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're whatever gets the stuff off their truck the fastest. But yeah, you want to make sure that on your job site you have access for a big rig semi, a full 53-foot float or trailer. full cab, sleeper, the whole 9 yards, and they got to be able to get out. So if your access,
Yeah.
really the hard part that we run into is tight turns and steep grades, or both at the same time. That's usually where truck will not be, bail out and say, hey, I can't get up there. Because if it's a 40,000 pound load and they have to slow down so much on that just to get moving, they're chuffing their wheels and they're not going anywhere. And backing out of spots like that is tough. I've done it in the gooseneck. Actually, that's a good gooseneck. Aaron, what do you think? Gooseneck better?
Yeah, to be able to haul it up to the job site, most definitely. Just the clearance and the turn radius that you can get on a gooseneck is definitely way better.
Yeah. If you're in a tight spot, it might make sense. And I've had to unload out at the street before and get a big telehandler and pick up the bundles like panels and purlins and pick up at the center point, boom, all the way out to like drive up driveways because there's trees.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about fences? Do you guys have is there a lot of problems from customers too with having to remove a fence or tear down a fence to get it, back there that they didn't necessarily intend on doing?
I don't know if I've ran into that, but
Okay.
I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
fences?
yeah, it's like if we're doing garages and stuff and I've got, this piece of property and I've already got a fence up and I'm going to put it behind, I'm putting my building behind a fence. Well, sometimes those fence openings aren't big enough to allow for a semi to drive through there. So you got to tear down a fence,
Mm.
Yep.
I'm sure it happens.
Actually, Seth's building, my brother's building, one of the buildings that he had out at his property, semi can't get in or it was snowed in or something. We used the telehandler to go over the fence, and there's a high part on his yard, fences down here, telehandler all the way down to unload.
Yeah.
Or I think we were either unloading or picking up. I don't remember. But yeah, probably easier just to tear out the fence. But
Yeah.
that's go.
Yeah. So what we were talking about before with the getting a truck in or a gooseneck, we actually had a customer that I did a shoot with, interview, super nice customer, wanted to remain anonymous the whole time, so he didn't use his real name. So I won't talk about him by name today.
John Galt.
Yeah. Super nice guy. But he had, the dirt road to get to his location was treacherous, to say the least.
Yeah.
And he told me that, they had a bunch of logistic issues getting the stuff onto the property because it was like a 40-minute drive. Truly on dirt road, narrow one-car road.
It was like a
with
Jeep trail, man.
overhang cliff. There's no room for error, and you can't back up. If you got to back up for 40 minutes, you did something extremely wrong. You were in a very bad situation. So he said that they had a bunch of issues, and they solved them by literally driving the, I don't know if it was the telehandler or what, that they had driven all the way back and forth, carrying one load at a time. It must have taken forever. So shout out to him. That's dedication, man.
Scott,
Hard work.
really cool guy. I'm not outing him. Scott's just such a normal name, but man, shout out to Scott if he sees this.
Yeah.
We did a cover for his containers about a year ago. Remember those brackets?
Yep.
We drew them up, and I remember looking at them on the page and was like, man, I don't know if that's strong enough or whatever. And Anthony and the guys in the shop were like, no, this is big. Then I got them on my desk, and I'm like, holy crap, guys.
I remember looking at those.
Yeah. Pretty trick system, man. It connects right to those hard points on the containers in those brackets. The frames bolt down. They're a flat bottom cord. Jared, you drew it.
Yep. Remember all that.
And yeah, he put a roof up there. So pretty darn awesome. But yeah, he did have to unload his building that he bought from us all the way down at the highway at the bottom of the road.
Yeah.
Or darn near. I think it comes off the highway about maybe a quarter of a mile, and then it just up the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
So,
Truly, it was treacherous my car couldn't have made it. I'm so glad that he was able to pick me up and take me there.
So, so if you're a customer, and I know we say, hey, delivery to the job site, but potential customer, that is specifically excluded from the contract.
Yep.
And, not to, bag on customers or something, but sometimes people ask for an awful lot. We're always trying to help and do the best. But, so a customer in a similar thing, he's like, this is the address. This is the thing. And you guys said you would get it there. And I'm like, we can't, and, I think I was being a little bit sarcastic. I was getting kind of frustrated. I told him my helicopter was out of gas. That kind of, it worked out. That changed the thing. I was like, man, I mean, really, how do you expect us to do this? Right. You got a giant building, and then he's like, yeah, I was, trying to see what I could get. Nice guy. Actually, we got a video on him. We can, talk about that later, but yeah. So hot shots, gooseneck, equipment to unload. No
What do you
tractor.
use?
I prefer a telehandler, but you can, depending on the building and what it's on, you could use a skid steer or a tractor with forks on it, but typically I prefer the 8K telehandler.
You want an
especially
8K?
Well, whatever. It's typically that's what we use anyways. So you have one out there. But I've unloaded with some dumb equipment before.
Right, yeah,
If
you have to do it, but
Yeah.
I tell, if it's a gooseneck load, you got a 12,000 pound building or something. Hey, the skid steer's going to be fine.
Yep.
Maybe your tractor, probably not your tractor, right? I mean, the pick capacity on a bucket is not much, and you're going to damage material. I've seen guys without forks on their tractor and just like chaining around stuff. You're going to tear up your panels. It's not good. It's not worth it. And if it's a hard surface, though, if you're unloading on a hard surfaced area, a gravel parking lot or asphalt or something like that, unload it the way we load it with just standard forklifts if you have access to them. But I would think a 5K telehandler is going to be easier to rent than a forklift.
Yeah.
You can get telehandler for $800 a day.
That's a
Roughly.
big one. No, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, a Genie 5519, which is what I would recommend, because I mean, they'll pick up anything, for the most part, anything we can load on a truck. Right? That's a 5K telehandler. And I mean, I don't know now. I mean, I know prices have gone up quite a bit, but rental companies, the first 3 days of the rental is, by the time you paid for your third day, you might as well just keep it for the week because it's the same price. Same thing on the monthly. Once you had it for 2 weeks, you've already paid for the month. So you just keep it for the month.
The other thing a lot of customers do, and I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'm just saying that it's a thing that customers have told me that they have had great success with, is go and buy one, use it, and then sell it when you're done. Get your money back. You only use it for the one thing. Somebody else needs it.
That's lucrative right there.
It is. I've heard of customers, I'm not going to name names, who've told me that they've actually made a profit on it. Buying one, it just needed a coat of paint, just needed a little bit of, sweat equity to improve it. And then they flipped it when they were done. They actually made money instead of spending money. So,
hey, there you go.
It's a possibility. I'm not telling,
Aaron, Jared, okay, that's a great idea, right? Because then you have a free equipment rental. My concern, if it was my building and I was putting it up and I didn't have the clock ticking on that rental, I might never get the building put up. I'll be like, I'll do that next.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you mean?
It's too
I
high.
can do this in 4 months.
Yeah.
But that would be good. The other thing, man, like 8Ks or 12Ks, we got to talk about dunnage here, right? Like, so if you get a big telehandler and they like a 12,000 pound capacity telehandler, the forks are super thick.
Yeah.
Right. And we're not using 6x6 dunnage or 4-inch dunnage when we're loading these trucks, right? We don't want them topping out. So I like a 5K, you get a little 1.5 inch thick fork all the way down at the end, rather than a big thick one. So you're not shoving it in between material. I mean, frames and stuff, it doesn't matter, but panels, I'd be worried about it.
Yeah, definitely. I just said 8K because it's typically what we would use to put up a good sized building. When you have those rafters up in the air, you want some good counterbalance.
Yeah, and a 5K is not going to have the reach. What those things are reaching out 14 feet, maybe less.
Yeah.
not far.
Okay.
And as they boom out, the weight capacity starts going down sharp.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It definitely goes down. I mean, not that our frames are, you know, typical buildings we put out, the frames aren't going to be any more than, 2,500 or 3,000, except for like what we're putting out right now for that 600,000 pound building. Some of those beams,
Yeah.
when they're all put together, you're going to have to use a crane.
oh, they're set up for it. That's their fourth building from us.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, a guy out there named Isaiah, like he works for the company. And the first one, he was part of the crew to put the first one up. And since then, he's done the other two buildings. He's doing this one. This is the biggest one that they've ordered from us. And the guy's like a professional erector now, standing seam roofs, high-R insulation systems, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, he's the man.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, good for
Did
those
they buy
guys.
their crane?
I don't know. Maybe. It's a specialty foods company in Oregon. Really, really nice. I mean, like family owned, just wonderful people, polite, kind, helpful. I was thinking rather than going through staging, because we kind of did that last week. Inventory. We need to talk about doing an inventory.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Let me see if I can pull up a shipping list here.
Yeah. Pull up a shipping list
without customer information on it.
Oh.
Or I can pull up customer information that wouldn't be a big deal if I shared. A simple one. Gabe Connor. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
He won't care. The salt shed is what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the job number on that? Because we had to widen that building for him.
95150.
Yeah,
Pretty sure. Or 050.
I got it.
Was it 150 or 050?
150.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. There's no shipper here. Oh, here we go. Got it. Here we go. This is actually for the Department of Transportation. It's called the salt shed, but it's really just for storing gravel, open on one end. So yeah, walk us through this, Aaron. Let me see if I can zoom out.
Okay. So, every piece of material that you have, especially mainframes, are going to have stickers on them. So you should have a quantity of 2 for RF1-1, and it will tell you that it's a column. These are columns. It doesn't say size or thickness. It doesn't really.
It gives you a weight.
Plans.
That's combined. That's combined weight.
Yeah, between 2. But anyways, you should have 2 RF1-1s. You go down, you have 2 RF1-2s, and you just check the stickers, your main frames. And me personally, I just check them off. I put a mark of I found 1, found 2, and then I check it off. And I do that throughout the process all the way down. So you have RF2-2. And then right under that, you have the EC1. That's actually not going to be it's not going to be an I-beam. It's going to be a piece of light gauge C channel. And it's a 12 by 3.5, 12 gauge piece of C channel. The one under it is actually an I-beam 12 by 16, EC2. And then you have your EC3-1, ER1, and ER2. Those are also Cs. And the quantity of 1. And the main frames are super easy to actually check off.
Right. So that corresponds the ER1, 1 of 1. I can't see ER2. I'd imagine that's 1 of 1 as well.
It is 1 of 1, yeah.
But yeah, that's what you're talking about there. See if I can go back to that shipping list. Oh, am I sharing that? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you
are. All right, cool. And then all of this is a roof only, so there's no door jambs or anything like that, but the number of girts, the length of the girt, everything. Yeah. We're just going to blow through this real quick. So as you're going through your inventory, like Aaron was saying, you check stuff off. This is all going to be in the warehouse box, except for your
SA ones, which are around your trim box.
Yep.
and then RC and BA1s.
Yep.
And then panels. Those will all be bundled. Anything with multiple lengths, all these 2 of 2, 2s, 17s, that'll probably all be in a bundle. Typically when I count, what I do is I find the bundle sticker and how much is supposed to actually be in that bundle. I usually either use a utility knife or my own pocket knife and count each sheet. It's kind of a pain, but it's definitely what you should do.
Yeah, because it helps
And
you
then
keep
got your
track.
trim.
Like try to like it gets kind of blurry. You're like 1, 2, 3, counting a 40-piece bundle. You're like 37, 38, 38. I mean 39. I mean shit. Where was I?
Yep.
Start over. All right, trim all in the trim box. So yeah, you could just go through. Like I said, all this stuff is photographed. Fasteners, nuts, bolts, screws, stuff like that. So, and then bracing. Go ahead, Jared.
So what's the importance of? I mean, where truck shows up, and what's the importance of doing an inventory? Like, why do we need to do that? Like, it's all there. Like, it's fine. Why do we need to do that as a customer?
I don't know, Jared. Why?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I'm asking the question. I don't know. They
Because you don't want to
this.
Because human error.
You don't want to have equipment rented and then be stood down for 2 weeks because you're in Alaska and you need 2 RF 1-1s, and we're like, sure, we can get those to you, but it's been a year. It'll take 2 weeks, so you should do inventory within 30 days.
I would call that pulling a Mountain State.
Yeah.
Hey, we just got to the roof and we can't find these 4 pieces of rake trim. We need them today.
Or yesterday.
Right. Yeah. Dude, come on, man. Right. Like there's a reason why you do an inventory, right? And also here's the picture of them. Go ask Mike or Steve or Bill or John or whoever what they did with them. Right. Go look at the dumpster. Look under the stuff in the dumpster.
My grandpa's owned his company for so long that he's ran into that issue where he's got a crew of 6 guys and you're putting on the wall and you're like, well, where the hell are the rest of the 20-foot sheets? And you got to call up. They're not here. And they're like, well, customer should have inventoried it 4 months ago. Well, the customer, sometimes doesn't, but as an erection crew, you don't want to be standing around.
Yeah. I mean,
every single thing.
Yeah. Right after you check your bolts, man, that's the next thing in inventory. Yeah. But yeah, good point, Aaron. You don't want to, I mean, Alaska's kind of a tough one, but it's not just that, on local jobs, hey man, we don't care, I mean, heck, even if you destroyed it half the time, I'm telling people just come over to the shop. I'll have it made, pick it up. No big deal. Stuff happens, but it's really the lead time on shipping. Right. And it's not easy. If it's, hey, we damaged a bunch of gutters or, it might take us, unless somebody's going to pay, now if we miss the part, we're going to get it there as quickly as possible, not really paying attention to the expense, depending on what the part is, right? If it's a critical part for the building, right? If it's a couple sticks of rake trim, literally the last thing to go onto the building, we're going to ask for some flexibility there. But I mean, we really don't miss that. So,
no.
But if it's damaged stuff and you don't need it right away, there's no reason to send a semi with 14-foot sticks of trim from Grand Junction to Iowa,
right.
For 4 or 5 pieces. Well, we have milk run stuff and, we always got trucks going through. So, a couple of days, or a week or something, is what we try to do. But it'd be better to know if something's missing. Which, I mean, here we are. This video is going to come off like, oh my gosh, half of my building's going to be missing. And these guys don't want to answer,
No.
Right?
No. It's stuff happens. Right. I mean, even, obviously we've seen some horror stories, too, with the trucker gets in an accident on the way. We've seen that and like, well, we need new trim because that fell off, or, he was T-boned and frames are fine, but that trim box isn't,
right. And he's still got to finish that load's still probably going to the job site if it's not bad. Remember that one, that caught on fire, the trailer caught on fire. His brakes iced up, literally covered in ice, and lit his tires on fire. and burn up his, it was I think he had wood deck and stuff on there. Everything was salvageable. I think we had to did have to replace the bundle of panels that were directly underneath the tire that lit on fire. Actually, I think it was just the tire that lit on fire, but I mean, I saw pictures of it. Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Or, Jared, you brought it up before we started the show. Customers taking other customer stuff, which is happening a lot less often now. And like I said, usually it was like doors or windows or something, which, the couple of instances that happened, it might not have been, on purpose or anything like that. It's just, hey, it's on top. It must be mine. But Justin, the guy I think he's in Georgia. I forget his name. He has that really nice barn dominium that we did the video on.
Oh, the cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy, he's like one of my favorite, man. He got shafted by the previous customer on that job so bad. And he worked with me. We had to replace all of his trim, most of his panels. We got him out right away, but it was in.
I actually didn't know any of that. Must have gotten it right for him at the end because he was pretty happy.
No, we did, but I mean, it was almost funny, but it was so tragic. And he was trying to help us out. He's like, man, maybe I can save this, or maybe I can save this. Like, and I was like, man, we're just going to send you, let's just replace it all. So we're not nickel and diming it, having to send this stuff. But the previous customer unloading with the tractor, has no idea what they're doing, unloads the entire, like almost the whole thing. And then they start putting it on and like dumping it onto the trailer.
Oh no.
Just like, and the driver was calling Ron. The driver's like, dude, this is like, I'm not helping. It's not his job. He's not supposed to help. His insurance doesn't cover him if he helps. He would be liable for damage and stuff if he did help. And he's like, I don't know what to do. This guy is just, he does not care. I called that customer and he was like, I did everything perfect. I'm like, dude, I have to like looking at these pictures. Like, what do you mean you did it perfect? Like, you did. Why'd you unload all that stuff? Well, I wanted to make sure nothing was mine. I mean, just, different people, but, I guess the point of the story is we do fix that if it happens, right? We'll take responsibility for our own customers, but contractually the other customer should have been billed for all of that. And, of course we didn't. That's not going to work out. It's not like he's going to send us a check.
I'm trying to remember his name right now, and it's on the tip of my tongue. The customer in Georgia. I hope he's listening.
It would be on the video
because he was the biggest sweetheart. He actually took me to a barbecue.
Right.
We actually went and grabbed a meal after the shoot, and my family owns property not too far from his, so he's actually kind of my neighbor.
Right.
He's a real nice guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps us up. I'm going to go mow.
I got a question for Aaron.
Dusty trail.
What's up?
So like a good example, customers a lot of the time when they're doing their unloading, they don't always see the need for or importance in staging. A lot of customers, they'll either just kind of willy-nilly put it wherever it can fit. And they don't always think ahead, where a part's going to go. Having to move it 3 or 4 times is the alternative to staging. So, how do you suggest people stage better?
Well, when it comes to unloading, you just get the building unloaded, right? That driver doesn't want to sit around for 6 hours when you should be able to unload a 40,000 pound building for 2 hours. So, but after that, I mean, you want to get all your main frames out. You want to separate your purlins, separate your sheets, separate your trim, job boxes. But when you're unloading, I wouldn't start staging yet, just because the driver, he might have drove 12 hours just to get to you.
Right. And he's being there on the job site. He's burning his drive time. 2 hours is the limit. Yeah. That's what we get. Yeah. And, if we can, if you can, well, we know what we're doing, but if 2 or 3 guys can load a 40,000 pound truck in 2 hours, it could certainly be unloaded by 2 guys in 2 hours. Really, it's preparation, right? Not, being prepared for that building to show up on your property, knowing where stuff is going, but staging, basically the way it comes off the truck, right? Right. I'd take the trim off and put it as far away as I can. Right.
Yep.
Then take my, fabricated cold form, set that over on the side, purlins and rigid frames, right? Those same stack, depending on the size of the building, are next to each other because you're going to need to be pulling into them at the same time. Maybe segregate your purlins from your girts. And panels, drive the panels all the way over and put the panels right in front of the trim box. Done.
And just for clarity, you're putting the trim and the panels away from everything to make sure that they stay safe. They don't get dented. They don't get dinged. They don't get bent up or stepped on or whatever, right?
Yeah, just out of the way. They're the last, you're going to put up all of the primary and secondary framing first before you start sheeting or trimming. So clean up your job, then you can bring that stuff over and bring it closer to the job site. But yeah, just keep it out of the way.
Yep.
How many people do you think minimum needs to be there for unloading?
It depends on the people and what they're on.
So one person, just one guy,
one
guy in the forklift, and a telehandler, and that's it.
I guess that's not true. I mean, I've done 3. If you're an erection crew, you have one guy up, one guy operating, and then one guy putting out dunnage and putting out dunnage so the operator doesn't have to get out. Unless you're going to unload a gooseneck, right? Then it could be 2 guys where I could just easily hop off the trailer and move the dunnage. But it can be done with 2 guys, but preferably 3 if you're an erection crew. It just goes by faster.
Yeah, I mean, I've unloaded buildings by myself. It's a pain because, the best help, actually, I don't think that's true. Like, I've unloaded for a customer at his job site and had them guide my forks and stuff in. Yeah. But this was a customer that could not get up and down off the truck, could not carry dunnage or anything like that. I did it as a favor. It was just down the road from the old office. But yeah, I think 3 guys, exactly what you said, right, Aaron? Whoever can operate the machinery the best, and then one guy on top making sure that you're not driving forks in or telling you where to stop when you can pick up, and then a gopher on the ground hustling dunnage around. Mm. That's perfect, and that's all you need. If that, I mean, 2 guys could do it. Especially if the guy on top of the truck is throwing dunnage on top of whatever's getting taken, and then the driver, once he gets lined up, he can jump out of the cab of the telehandler and throw that dunnage down, drop it, and head back to the truck. Yep. And you do get a lot more dunnage, like on the truck. The dunnage is very heavy, right? In the field, you don't need as much dunnage as really comes with the truck. It's really just getting to the first stack of dunnage. So you can, so you have dunnage to use because there's no dunnage on top, but, guys, that's it. That's a wrap, right? We're done. You want to do the dumb thing of the week?
Last week?
Yeah. What's the dumbest thing you did this week?
Well, last week
the
thing I did, was I was loading a job that had, 95187, whatever. I was just getting into it. It was a small 10,000 pound building. It had 4 RF1-1s, 4 RF1-2s. I loaded everything. Guy left. I sent pictures in to Amanda in here. She called me, or Nikki called me while I was headed home, and she's like, "Hey, there's some stuff on there for 95287. I was like, well, the job's 187. Well, I had just done it. I didn't even look. The inventory just matched up for the iron.
Both jobs had 4 and 4 of the. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, that driver did come back because his brakes were completely out of his truck. He had a flat tire.
It worked out. So you loaded the frames for another customer's building to go to another customer's job site. And they were like, oh man, I know we talked about it. Man, Amanda, rock and roll, man. Like,
Yeah, right.
you know,
Way to
I
catch it
would-
and fix it.
right. That's why I can't work in quality control or, you know, stuff like that, because I would have just uploaded them. Boom,
just
they're in the
uploaded it.
system. Yeah. Right. So bless her, man. She's,
Yeah.
going through that, making sure. All right. I got into a political argument with Nicole. That was dumb.
Yep. That's a bad one.
Yeah, that's a bad one. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We're at the 58-minute mark, so let's get out of here. I'm Eric. We'll see you next week. I'm not sure what we're going to discuss, but we'll come up with something.
All right. See you guys next week.
Take care, guys.
Y'all have a great week.
See ya.